Alright people, let's go ahead and now we'll be revising e-way bill, electronic way bill. Everyone, can we go ahead and take a quick linking? First of all, we started learning GST with goods and service. Goods and service has to be supplied. Supply can be either interstate or intrastate. Interstate supply, I GST will be levied. Intrastate, C GST will be levied. Once GST is levied, GST has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. How will he collect and pay, everyone? He will go ahead and calculate GST is equal to value of supply into rate of tax. Once you know the value, you will go ahead and prepare tax invoice, credit note and debit note and delivery challan. All this you will go ahead and maintain your accounts and records. Now government says, Ramesh, you can go ahead and maintain your accounts and records and you should send the goods to the other person with the help of a e-way bill. So along with your tax invoice, along with your whatever bill of supply you are going ahead and raising, you should always, when you are going ahead and causing the movement, you should raise a e-way bill. Everyone, in your e-way bill ka chart, e-way bill is section number 68, read with rule number 138, 138A, B, C, D and E. Now sir, first of all, who is the person who has to go ahead and raise the e-way bill? Always remember one thing, who will generate the e-way bill will depend on the person who is causing the movement. If I am telling I am going to send the goods, supplier, then he will go ahead and generate the e-way bill. If recipient comes and collects and goes, he will generate the e-way bill. Basically, in case of supply, supplier or recipient, whoever causes the movement will generate the e-way bill. In any other case, consignor or consignee, whoever causes the movement will generate the e-way bill. Always remember one thing, if supply is unregistered, recipient is registered and there is a movement which is happening, then it will be deemed that the movement is caused by the recipient and he will generate the e-way bill. Sir, how will I go ahead and generate the e-way bill? You have to go to, sir, where will I go? You will go to e-way bill gst.gov.in and you will generate the e-way bill. How will I generate, sir? You will have to upload the details in part A of GST EWV01 and part B may you have to upload the detail. Part A may you have to provide transaction detail and part B may you will provide transportation detail. Once you go ahead and fill part A, part B ka details can be filled only in 15 days. 15 days ka time is there. And once you go ahead and fill part B, one unique e-way bill number is given to you. Then now over here is, why will you go ahead and generate an e-way bill? Always remember, you will go ahead and generate an e-way bill because you are going ahead and causing the movement of consignment value greater than 50,000. Always remember how to calculate the consignment value. Take the invoice value or the bill of supply or the delivery challan ka value, whatever is the GST, add that amount of GST and the total value which comes is a consignment value. Remember one thing, in case of invoice only there will be GST, in case of bill of supply and delivery challan it will be only the amount which you have mentioned in the bill of supply or delivery challan. But tax invoice may amount value of supply plus the GST will give you the consignment value. Always remember one thing, if you have gone ahead and raised one invoice come bill of supply, there will be taxable supply, there will be GST plus exempt supply ka value. Remove exempt supply ka value, whatever amount is remaining, that will go ahead and give you the consignment value, and the consignment value, if it is greater than 50,000, only then you are required to generate e-way bill mandatorily. Otherwise, there are two more scenarios when mandatorily you have to generate e-way bill even if the value is not crossing 50,000. Number one, interstate, if you are moving goods for job work, interstate movement for job work, compulsory e-way bill is required. Number two, if you are a person who is exempted from registration under section number 24(1) and 24(2), basically you are an interstate supplier of handicraft goods, or you are a person who is a casual taxable person going ahead and supplying handicraft goods. In that scenario, because you are exempted from registration up to 20 lakh or 10 lakh, government says because you are exempted from registration, you should generate a e-way bill basically by using your PAN number. Can I go ahead, everyone? So if you are an interstate movement, if you are a person causing interstate movement to a job worker, then you are required to generate e-way bill. The next one over here is what? The next one over here is, if you are going ahead and doing interstate movement of handicraft goods by a person who is exempted from compulsory registration under section number 24(1) or 24(2), basically you are exempted from compulsory registration, then also you are required to generate e-way bill. Then sir, when do I go ahead and generate e-way bill? You should generate e-way bill prior to movement. In case of In case of rail, air or vessel, it can be generated after movement also. Sir, what about the e-way bill ka validity? Always remember one thing, if it's a normal cargo, which is other than overdimensional cargo or a multimodal transportation where ship is not involved, you have to say where ship is not involved, and then less than equal to 200 kilometers, 1 day ka validity. But overdimensional cargo or multimodal transportation where ship is involved, then less than equal to 20 kilometers, 1 day. You have to write it like this: overdimensional cargo or multimodal transportation where ship is involved, then it is less than equal to 20 kilometers, 1 day. Other than overdimensional cargo means normal truck or a multimodal transportation where ship is not involved, then it is always less than equal to 200 kilometers, 1 day. Right, everyone? Now, when you are going ahead and taking the goods and going, basically the person in charge, when he is taking the goods and going, rule number 138A comes, which goes ahead and says you should take along with you documents and devices to be carried by person in charge. If you are going and taking the goods and going, you should have bill of supply, invoice or delivery challan, plus you should have the e-way bill plus bill of entry in case of imports. E-way bill is not required to be carried by the person in charge in case of rail, air or vessel. If the goods are going by rail, air or vessel, then in that scenario, do you think the train ka conductor who is there will carry the e-way bill? Do you think plane ka pilot will carry the e-way bill? In that scenario, e-way bill is not required to be carried by the person in charge. Sir, in case a person is required to do e-invoicing and he has a QR code which is embedded with IRN, then Baba, you can go ahead, instead of giving physical invoice to the person who is transporting, you can tell him to carry the QR code along with him, so that when the officer is checking, he can show the QR code and the verification can be done. In lieu of physical tax invoice, QR code having embedded invoice reference number can be taken along. Now, when you are going on the way, everyone, what did I tell you till now? I went ahead and told you who has to generate e-way bill: supplier, recipient, transporter, consigner or consignee, whoever is causing the movement. Sir, how will he go ahead and generate? Where will he go ahead and generate? e-way bill gst.gov.in. How will he generate? Part A and Part B. He will go ahead and fill, and he will get one unique e-way bill number. Sir, then why will he generate? Because consignment value is greater than 50,000, or he is sending interstate movement to a job worker, or handicraft goods are moved by a person who is exempted from registration under section number 24(1) and 24(2). 24(2) consignment value, always tax amount has to be included, but exempt supply ka value has to be excluded. Sir, e-way bill ka validity is always 200 kilometers ke liye 1 day ka validity, but if it is overdimensional cargo or a multimodal transportation where ship is involved, in that scenario it will be 20 kilometers, up to 20 kilometers, 1 day ka validity. When you are going on the way, you should carry documents and devices along with you. Documents mean bill of supply, invoice or delivery challan, plus e-way bill has to be taken along. In case of imports, bill of entry also has to be taken along. However, if the goods are being transported by rail, air or ship, then in that scenario, e-way bill is not required to be carried by person in charge. If you have gone ahead and generated an invoice, the person in charge can go ahead and carry, instead of physical tax invoice, he can go ahead and carry the QR code having invoice reference number. When you are going on the way, verification will happen. Rule number 138B says verification of document and conveyance. The authorized proper officer, who is inspector, who is being authorized by the commissioner. Basically, inspectors are being authorized by the commissioner. They will go ahead and stop you, and they will check all the documents, they will check the e-way bill, and they will check the conveyance. Now, if there is no discrepancy, he will let you go. If there is any discrepancy, he will go ahead and apply section number 129, where detention and seizure will be done. Right, everyone? Sir, supposingly on the way you are going and there is no inspector who is there on the way, then any other officer can also go ahead and do the checking. Basically, it says if there is any specific intelligence information, then any other officer may do the physical verification with the prior permission of commissioner. Rule number 138C goes ahead and says once the inspection and verification of goods in transit is done by the proper officer, he will go online and upload summary report in e-way bill 03 part A within how much time? 24 hours, and he will go ahead and upload final report in GST EWB 03 part B within how much time, everyone? Within 3 days, plus 3 days ka extension can be given by the commissioner. Once the checking is done, no physical verification will happen again unless there is any specific intelligence information which has been received. Rule number 138D goes ahead and says if your detention is more than 30 minutes, then you can go online and you can inform the office, you can inform basically the government about your detention, that sir, I am being detained for more than 30 minutes. Transporter can go ahead and inform the government by filing EWB04. Now, when you are going on the way, they have gone ahead and told a person should carry devices. However, as of now, devices are not required to be carried. However, if the commissioner wants, commissioner can go ahead and tell that you have to carry along with you RFID device where you can put your invoice reference number, and when you are going on the way, there will be RFID readers which will be installed where your invoice reference number will be transmitted to the RFID device and verification will happen and the gate will open and you can go. But as of now, it's a dream which is not happening. Can I go ahead, everyone? Now, but actually as of now, FASTags are little bit used in case of checking. For checking, FASTag, which is that FASTag on the toll, those are being used by people, basically the officers. Can I go ahead, everyone? But now, as of now, RFID devices are not yet installed for e-way bill purpose. Next, sir, now you are going on the way. Supposing the truck has started crying, then if there is an issue, what you can go ahead and do, if there is a breakdown which is repairable, always remember, you can go ahead and ask for extension. Always remember one thing, if you have generated an e-way bill today midnight onwards, the time limit will start till tomorrow midnight if it is one day. Always remember, it is starting from always midnight to the next day. So tomorrow, supposingly evening, you met with an accident and now you want to extend your e-way bill validity, then 12 o'clock at night it is going to expire. So before that, 8 hours before or 8 hours after, you can ask for extension. Sir, supposingly any other issue is there wherein truck is only changing, then in that scenario you should always remember, if transshipment or breakdown has happened, transshipment means you are changing the truck, or any breakdown because of which you are changing the truck, your own conveyance is there or same transporter is there, you will just go ahead and update the part B, take the goods and go. However, if the transporter is changing, then the transporter will go ahead and assign the e-way bill to another transporter. Now another transporter will update part B and take the goods and go. Always remember one thing, once you have gone ahead and assigned the e-way bill to a transporter and he has put the motor vehicle detail, now you can't go ahead and assign that e-way bill to another transporter. This transporter only, he can go ahead and assign the e-way bill to another transporter. He can only fill the details and take and go. Can I go ahead, everyone? Now, everyone over here, what are the cases when e-way bill is not required? When the goods which are being transported are LPG, kerosene for public distribution system, postal baggages, pearl, precious stone, metal, jewelry, currency, personal or household effect, and coral. In that scenario, government has told that e-way bill is not required. If you are taking the goods through non-motorized cargo, might be donkey, bullock cart, etc. In that scenario also, e-way bill is not required because donkey will not have a number. Government went ahead and told donkey, horses, etc. ka case mein e-way bill is not required to be generated. Then when you are going in and transportation to or fro custom port, airport or station, ICD to CFS, basically they are going ahead and telling, it might be from the main port you are taking to inland container depot, or you are taking the goods to container freight station. In that scenario, e-way bill is not required to be generated. When the movement is within notified area which has been notified by the government by a notification, in that scenario, e-way bill will not be required. If transportation of exempted goods is happening, alcoholic liquor is happening, or HP man, high speed diesel, petroleum crude, motor spirit, aviation turbine fuel, or natural gas is happening, in that scenario e-way bill is not required. If transportation is happening of exempted goods which is de-oiled cake may, always remember e-way bill will be required. If where supply of goods being transported is not a supply, if it is not a supply under schedule 3, in that scenario also e-way bill is not required. When supply of goods by canteen stores department to or fro unit run canteen or authorized customer, basically this CSD canteens, when they are going ahead and transporting the goods, e-way bill is not required. Supply of heavy waters, a nuclear fuel by the Department of Atomic Energy, government is selling, all these things are not to be informed, e-way bill not required. Movement of goods by defense formation, AK-47 is being transported, they will never go ahead and inform about it. Then movement of empty cargo container, empty cylinders, in this scenario, what is there? Empty, then not required, e-way bill. When consignor is the central government, state government, local authority for transportation by rail, always remember, when government is transporting by rail, e-way bill is not required, but only in case of rail, if government is transporting, e-way bill is not required. If government is going in and transporting by any other mode, then e-way bill will be required. Then, sir, transportation from one custom port station to another, also e-way bill is not required. transportation under custom supervision or seal, then also e-way bill is not required. If it is a transit cargo to or from Nepal and Bhutan, then also e-way bill is not required. Now, always remember one thing, if goods transit to another state while moving from one area in one state to another state, then it is always interstate. One area to another within the same state. For an example, goods are moving, this is the state of Karnataka, from this area it is going to this area, but it is an intrastate movement, but intrastate supply, but the movement is what? Interstate movement. If it is an interstate movement, because it went to other state, it will be called as an interstate movement. In case of interstate movement, central GST laws will apply. Now you tell me one thing, supposingly domestic tariff area say goods are going to the SEZ. Sir, it's an interstate supply, but the movement is within the same state, and we call this movement as intrastate movement. Always remember one thing, e-way bill is required for movement, whether it is supply of goods, supply of service, or not a supply also, but if there is a movement of goods, e-way bill will be required. Are we clear, everyone? Next. Sir, who will go ahead and generate e-way bill? Always remember, if the goods are being transported by road, then consignor or recipient as consignee. If you are going ahead and transporting on conveyance, hired one or a public conveyance, you will go ahead and fill what? Part A also, part B also you will go ahead and fill before movement. Sir, if you have gone ahead and handed it to a transporter, part A you will go ahead and fill, part B you will not go ahead and fill. You will go ahead and assign the e-way bill to the transporter. He will update the part B details and generate the e-way bill, take the goods and go. If you are going ahead and transporting by rail, in that scenario, part A also you will update, part B also you will go ahead and update. However, in case of rail, air and ship, bill of lading number, railway receipt number, airway bill number, or bill of lading number will always be given after the transportation starts generally. So you can go ahead and generate e-way bill before or after the movement also. Sir, government went ahead and told in rule number 138E that e-way bill portal, basically they will not go ahead and allow you to generate e-way bill with respect to your outward supply if you have gone ahead and done some contraventions which are told in rule number 138E. Rule number 138E says restriction on person furnishing information in part A of EWB 01. No person shall be allowed to furnish information in part A in respect of outward supply of a registered person who, when will my e-way bill not be generated? If I want to generate, I can also not generate. Somebody else want to generate. Might be I have authorized transporter, might be I have authorized courier agency, might be I have authorized e-commerce operator to generate e-way bill on my behalf. They will not be able to generate if I am a composition dealer and I have not furnished CMP 08 for 2 consecutive quarters. Sir, if I am a person other than composition dealer, I have not furnished a return for 2 consecutive tax period. If I am filing monthly return, that for 2 months I have not furnished my monthly return. If I am furnishing return quarterly, I have not furnished my 2 quarterly return. Then they are going ahead and telling your e-way bill portal will be not allowing you to go ahead and generate e-way bill with respect to outward supply, with respect to your sale. Can I go ahead and purchase? Yes, Baba. For your purchase, e-way bill will be allowed, but for your sales, you will not be able to generate e-way bill. Being a person, number 1, composition dealer, 2 consecutive quarter ka CMP 08 not filed. Normal person, 2 monthly returns or 2 quarterly returns not filed. Then in that scenario, e-way bill portal will be blocked. If you are a person other than A, means normal person has not furnished GSTR 1, which is details of its outward supply for any 2 months or any 2 quarters, then also e-way will be blocked. You will not be able to generate e-way bill. Or if you are a person whose registration has been suspended under rule number 21A 1, 2 or 2A, if your registration is under suspension, then also you will not be able to generate e-way bill. Always remember 4 cases when e-way bill will not be generated with respect to outward supply. Number 1, composition person CMP 08 for 2 quarters not filed. Sir, normal person monthly return for 2 months not filed or 2 quarters not filed. GSTR 1 for 2 months or 2 quarters not filed. Sir, if you are a person whose registration has been suspended, then also e-way bill with respect to your outward supply cannot be generated by you or any other person. If you have authorized, he will also not be able to generate with respect to your outward supply. Then one proviso is there. If you want, you can go to speak to the commissioner. Commissioner, on receipt of an application from registered person in EWB 05 and on sufficient cause being shown, can give an order in GST EWB 06 and he will allow you to furnish the part A of GST EWB 01, or he can also go ahead and give Also, he can go ahead and reject your application after giving you an opportunity of being heard. Now, there are some important points, sir. A transporter has many e-way bills which are there. Can you consolidate and generate one e-way bill? Yes, Baba. Consolidated e-way bill in GST EWB02 can be generated, indicating serial numbers of all the individual e-way bills. Can I go ahead and cancel e-way bill? Yes, Baba. It can be cancelled within 24 hours, but before verification in transit. Sir, e-way bill generated in one state, is it valid across India? Yes, Baba. It is generated for your whole journey, so it is valid in all other states. Also, sir, always remember railway का केस में one special point is told that railway का केस में e-way bill is not required to be generated before, but railway will not give you the delivery unless you go ahead and show him the e-way bill, unless you go ahead and show them the e-way bill at the time of collecting. Basically, when you are going ahead and taking the delivery, you have to show the e-way bill. E-way bill generation is optional even if the consignment value is less than equal to rupees 50,000. Sir, for me, can my courier agency, can my transporter, or can my e-commerce operator generate e-way bill on my behalf? Yes, Baba. Transporter, e-commerce operator, or courier agency on an authorization receipt may furnish details in Part A of EW01 and generate the e-way bill. Always remember, supposingly one consignor, I am cutting something, you don't cut. If consignor has to send the goods to the consignee, might be the consignor will first send the goods to the GTA. GTA will go ahead and load it in their truck, and then they will go ahead and send it supposingly to Delhi, and then they will unload in different truck and take the goods and go. Always remember, one exception is there. If you are sending the goods to your transporter's place of business, which is intrastate movement up to 50 km, then e-way bill may Part A is only required. You can cause the movement, and then Part B is not required. If the distance is up to 50 km, number one, sending it to transporter, intrastate, and distance is up to 50 km, then Part A is required. Part B updation is not required. You can move the goods. But sir, once the goods reach over here, then they will update Part B and take the goods and go. Sir, tell me one thing. If I am sending it to transporter, interstate, and distance is more than 50 km, then Part A and Part B both are required. Okay, sir. Once the goods reach over here, they will go ahead and load it in a different truck. They will update the truck detail, take the goods and go. Now, when the goods reach, supposingly from Bangalore, they reach Delhi. Now, you will unload in a different truck and take the goods to what? Consignee's place of business. Always remember, from transporter's place of business, if you are going to take the goods to the consignee place of business, distance is up to 50 km. Part A only is required. Part B updation is not required. However, if the distance is greater than 50 km, Part A and Part B updation both will be. Part A is required anyways. Part B updation also will be required. Also, one additional point is there which I have gone ahead and written down over here. If a consignor is sending his goods for the weighing bridge, if a consignor is sending the goods for weighing to the weighing bridge where the weighing of the goods will be done, if the distance is up to 20 km, then document only delivery challan is required, because for weighment purpose e-way bill is not required. But if the distance is greater than 20 km, then always remember delivery challan plus e-way bill also will be required. Right, everyone, this chapter which is there is a B graded chapter. 3 to 4 marks they go ahead and ask in the exam. In my opinion, if you go ahead and take care of why is the e-way bill required, what are the scenarios when e-way bill is required, then and how do you go ahead and calculate the consignment value, if you go ahead and take care of what is the validity of the e-way bill, okay, sir, when is e-way bill not required to be generated, then who will go ahead and generate e-way bill, okay, and then sir, then what are the cases when e-way bill will be blocked. Right, everyone, these are the some of the A graded points in this B graded chapter. Right, everyone, I will go ahead and close my revision on the chapter of e-way bill over here, everyone. Congratulations, people. Clear?